I'm more like Yoda, and you're like Han Solo.
You're the Jar Jar Binks. Jesus.
Bullshit. I'm not the... No one's the Jar Jar Binks. Okay.
Look at you. You have a blue golf cart. Oh, it meets a guy in a golf cart.
Jealous. Jealous. Hey, my name is Tony. We're the Colorado BBQ guys. This intro is never going to change. I've been living in Colorado for about a couple years, and the whole big thing is where to get good barbecue. I lived in Texas for 25 years. I did barbecue judging with the IBCA. I competed in barbecue in the Texas State Championships. I didn't do well because there's a lot of great cookers out there. My beans did well. That was a side jackpot. Got some money out of that. Got second place in the championship, first place in the championship. And you know what? It's great. But I think what does it for me is the first time I ever had barbecue was I met a girl from Texas. I was going to school in Arizona, and she took me to a place called Spring Creek Barbecue, which knowing now is probably not the fanciest place, kind of like the Dickies in Texas. So went there on a Sunday after church. They had great rolls and whatever, and the first time I ever had Texas barbecue, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, wow, I was hooked. And she was not a nice woman, but I was really hooked on barbecue, not really her. She was the El Diablo. She was like the ghost pepper of women. She was horrible. Anyhow, then I moved to Texas, and I was driving Mansfield, Texas, down south with my buddy Josh, and we were looking for a place to eat. And we had this overwhelming smell of barbecue. And we kind of chased the smell down, and 500 cookers doing a contest. And I remember Josh and I, we pulled into this parking lot, and we said, hey, where can we go buy barbecue? And the people said, we're not selling barbecue. I'm like, what are you talking about? But if you go inside and talk to this lady, she'll help you out. And her name was Lynn. Lynn Shivers was her name, and she was the head of the IBCA. And she says, you're in luck. We're missing some judges. And we need some 2 judges. So she trained us how to judge.
You walked in off the street. You're clearly qualified.
Clearly qualified, right? I mean, yeah. Look at you. I mean, well, if you look as pretty as I do, and I kind of do Pilates, here and there. And Josh, he's fucking high handsome. He does, he does a lot of smoking. Anyhow, but he was a great guy. Still is. And so we went there. We judged, and the first time you ever had competition barbecue, it is life-changing. It is probably better than any barbecue brick and mortar building I've ever been to, maybe except for one. We'll talk about that later. But that's how I got hooked on the barbecue. And then after that, I started traveling because I worked for an airline and all the different places. And I traveled and I judged barbecue for about a couple years. And then one year I got hooked on to compete. But that's where I got barbecue. And there's no such thing as bad barbecue. Barbecue is different to everybody. So Cody, you handsome devil, you sexy beast. When did you barbecue?
Not too many years ago. It actually it hit me because a friend, when I moved here, he introduced me to Brothers Barbecue over in Broomfield, and I think it was the only one in town at the time. And there wasn't a lot of barbecue places here. Now, to even go back further, I am from Wyoming. So people say, oh, what part? And I say all kinds of parts. I kind of moved around a lot, and it's not because of military or anything like that. Was born in a small town, moved a year or two later, was there in another small town in Wyoming for 10 years, and then moved to another town, moved back. So I was all over Wyoming for my entire life. I thought I would live and die there. But I moved here, never really had barbecue. Wyoming wasn't a hot spot for barbecue. It's not a hot spot for population. It's not a hot spot for a whole lot of things. So there's not a lot of people there. But when I moved here, my friend took me to Brothers Barbecue, and I just loved it. And I loved being able to say, well, I like this about it, I like that about it, I don't like this. And he goes, well, then just tell him. Right. Tell him what you want. And he's a very upfront, forward guy. And he was one of my closest friends of all time. He said, order what you want. Tell him what you want. And I said, well, can you guys do it this way? Can you do it without the sauce? And they said, yeah, we'll do whatever you like. Now, to an extent. With that being said, they won't know what you like or what you want unless you tell them. Right. So after that, I thought, man, I got to keep coming back here. I got to keep coming to Brothers Barbecue and hitting the same spot over and again, hitting the same thing. And I did it for years. And then you start hearing people talk about different places, but you hear about the same places over and over and over again.
Like what other places?
And Georgia Boys. Okay. Georgia Boys up in Longmont, and I had that, and it was really good. But I just had a spot in my heart for Brothers. Okay. And then I tried this. And I don't even remember them all. But then all of a sudden you hear about GQs. That's the place to be. And I went there with my wife and daughter, and I wanted to dislike it because everybody came in hot with how great it is. Yeah. And guess what? It was as good as they said. Yeah. You and I went there, though, right? I didn't love the textures. I didn't love the textures, but you said, as a judge, it was more of a competition texture.
Right.
It was the way it's supposed to be.
Right. So let's rewind back. Did you any barbecue in Wyoming?
My dad's barbecue, he would do them in a big roasting pan, like the old enamel roasting pan, and it would just be nothing but juice inside, and it would fall off the bone, and I loved it. And that was one of the things that I asked for my birthday. We definitely didn't grow up rich or anything, but we ups and downs and whatnot. Yeah. But that was one of the things I wanted for my birthday because my dad didn't do it very often, and he never smoked it. I never saw anybody smoke anything before. You never saw electric stick, charcoal, or anything like that. I mean, sometimes you'd see the little charcoal Webers and whatnot, but it was so much easier to flip a switch on a propane.
First time I did barbecue, I boiled my ribs.
Yeah, that's what my dad did.
I boiled my ribs.
That's how my dad did it.
Like, what idiot boils his ribs? I mean, but
he was known for it.
But like barbecue, it evolves over time. Like from the first barbecue with, I guess, fire and caveman meat on a stick, great, and then it evolves. Kind of like whiskey. I tell you, whiskey has evolved from Ireland, who invented whiskey, all the way to today.
Tastes awful to really bad.
No, to taste great. Like crap. No, to taste, I think Ireland, hell, is awesome. But when you boil ribs, everyone thought that was great. So I boiled my ribs, put barbecue sauce, put it in the oven, and everyone goes, that's great barbecue. And you're thinking you're barbecue, but you're still in an electric kitchen. That competition kind of changed my whole way of barbecue. And then I started taking classes on barbecue and what is barbecue. Well, barbecue means different things to everybody. Barbecue could be a gas grill or a Traeger, or it could be a Weber kettle. That's barbecue, or whatever. And people, I'm barbecuing tonight. Oh, you have an offset? No. So then you start going different sections, and I guess people have to evolve over time. And this is just where I'm at today with my barbecue life. And who knows, in the next 20 years, it may evolve even more as we get more into this. Because who knew it? What else is out there?
Well, and every method is different, and every method really has its merits and has a great flavor to it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I may not have barbecued my whole life and been around barbecue, but
but you know what you
always
like, right?
been a meat eater. Always been a meat eater. We've always had cattle and
Uncle
stuff.
Rick? Up in the cabin,
scout leader,
up in the cabin, you're Scout Rat Master Rick. You meat eater. Sorry, I had to go there.
I'm a meat eater. I feel qualified. I breathe, I eat, I'm 300 pounds. I'm qualified,
You're
all right?
300 pounds of just sexy man meat. That's what you are. I know. Nailed it. So, so when we went to, what was that place that barbecue place that you said it was really, here in Colorado, here in Broomfield.
The one that I like.
Yeah, what was that called?
It's Wayne's Smoke Shack.
No, not Wayne's. The one before that, you took your wife and everyone said nailed it.
GQ's.
Now, we went there and I didn't get barbecue. You remember what I had?
No.
I had Thanksgiving on a bun because it was like middle of June, July. They put turkey, stuffing, cranberry, like everything you have after Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, I got to do that. But I did try their brisket and it was competitive. When you take a bite, you're supposed to leave a teeth mark within like a rib. When you take a rib, you're supposed to bite into the rib, pull off the bone, and it's supposed to almost like a teeth mark and you can see the bone.
You've been leaving teeth marks for years.
I know. I've been loving teeth right now. So, yeah, exactly. No teeth. My grandma, she has gums. I like that better. That's just me personally. However, but you go to Texas Roadhouse and they have this their ribs. They fall off the bone and they just overcook the crap out of them. But you know what? I like those ribs. I like fall off the bone ribs.
Yep.
I think true barbecue doesn't need sauce. I remember a guy at Southwest Airlines. He said, Matt Lewis. Real barbecue doesn't need sauce. I'm like, whatever. And he was right. But then you know what? I found out I like sauce. I really do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can go with it.
And the first time, where did we go last week that we had, where did we go in Broomfield? We went with Zach and yourself. Where did we go? Sugar
Fire. And that's Thornton.
Okay. So they had really good sauces. They had a good array of sauces, but they had a white barbecue sauce I never even had before. And I thought that was good. I like that.
And I didn't try that one. I tried their coffee and fell in love. I actually tried their sweet one as well. And I like the sweet stuff. I like my Monster Diesel. You obviously like Lady Monster.
I like Lady Monster because I like ladies. That's just what I do. Mm-hmm. But I'm not judging. 10% of the guy they like you. That's fine. But yeah, I just need my energy.
I drive a diesel. I drink a diesel. That's how I roll.
But at Sugar Fire, you're exactly right, Cody. So I was there and I got brisket and ribs, and like an idiot, dang, I got another story. And whoever knows me, I got stories. But you're right. You have to tell them what you want, because I asked for brisket and ribs and they gave me some lean brisket and I was like, oh my God, it looks like jerky. It looks like the jerky we're eating here almost. And it's not that it's bad. People do like that, just not for me. So I asked, I want the fatty part. And if you tell me what you like,
and they accommodated that, and I thought that was awesome. There was no pushback.
No.
And that's what I found at barbecue places. they're always really great people, or at least historically that's what I've run into. I'm sure you're gonna not hit that once in a while, but even seasoned swine, I go over there. The guy is so thankful. He always asks, "Where'd you come from? How'd you hear about us?" And I tell him, "Hey, I came from Brighton," and he's just amazed that we drive that far over there, because he's over in that Golden, Colorado Mills area, and it's really good. And the guy's thankful. And then every time I've been in there, he hands me a coupon for a free sandwich.
Yeah,
I think that's really awesome. And I don't know if he does that for everybody or just the people that get to chit chatting with him. Nonetheless, awesome guy. He had a bunch of bottles of Weller, which I'm not a whiskey guy or whatever, but I heard it's good. I want to try it just because I keep hearing that it's good. Which, by the way, I'm probably not just going to just limit this to barbecue.
We're talking about drinking,
eating, whatever. I'd never heard of dim sum. So you're all that,
and then some, and dim sum.
And he introduced me to that. It was an amazing experience. And now we've tried a couple of them, and I did not want to change what I do. It just kind of, I get in a habit, I get in a rut. We went to the same dim sum place several times, and he said, "Let's try this other one." Ends up, I was wrong. It was as good or better. So
So we
feel free to reach out and try different things.
Let's go back to the seasoned swine, though. We both were at the poorhouse, and this guy did a whole hog. It had to be, I think he said it was a 250-pound hog. He did a whole hog, and that thing looked spot on. Mm-hmm. I mean, he looked like he's done this. This wasn't his first rodeo, and he did it. And at the end, he was selling it. Too. Young guy. The portions he was giving away and selling for like $12 was like phenomenal, great value at the poorhouse. Just to get his name out there, I guess he did a food truck for a while, and then he had a brick and mortar, and he's just trying to get people in, which we all do. But you're right. He was super nice, super kind. We came out there, we're at the tail end, and note to everybody, if they're doing a big barbecue, even at the contest, go to the very end, because they're just going to give it away.
That was great. Walk up.
Yeah.
We weren't even inside the ropes yet, and he's handing us fistfuls of pork.
Right.
And there's Tony. You'll notice this about Tony. He likes wearing it.
Yeah, I do. Well, as a
so
clean
in
shirt,
no time, he's got
barbecue.
Whole hog all over himself, and I'm still running around beautiful as ever.
Yeah, you are. And I'm just, you are my man candy, and that's fine. But fat kids like my shirt because can I sniff your shirt? I'm like, yeah. Well, if you're over 18, just Judge says I have to say that now.
And
we the people say you have to ask that question. Are you over 18? No, but I liked him. We went to the shop. He gave me a coupon for a free sandwich. The burn ends were good, and not the texture I was looking for. Not like Kansas City burn ends, and we haven't been to Kansas City yet. But I've taken Cody to St. Louis, and I've taken Cody to Dallas to try barbecue. And we just want to travel and talk barbecue. But that guy is seasoned swine, though. He gave away a bunch of barbecue, and he was really nice. We
went to New Orleans. We didn't have barbecue, but man, the food there was amazing.
We had Cajun barbecue. We had those grilled oysters. Again.
Oh, is that barbecue?
Some would call that barbecue.
I guess so. There was a flame 4 foot high,
a flame and a grill. So it depends. It's all subjective. So barbecue is pretty subjective word. Who wants to say what's barbecue? People say a Traeger, like those electric easy bakes, like you have. I
definitely want to interrupt and say when we were having those char grilled oysters, we went to Drago's.
Drago's, yeah.
We met the owner, and it wasn't because we're anybody. We're absolutely nobody. Yeah. I was just bound and determined to say hello. So the meal was the single best meal I ever had in a restaurant. And it was so affordable. Everything was just relaxed. I was in shorts and a T-shirt with my wife and daughter. And I said, I have to meet the lady who's responsible for this. And I walked up and got to talking to her. And she was amazing. She gave me a shirt. Tony came up, riding my coattails. He got himself a T-shirt. My daughter got a T-shirt. Yeah. My wife and Tony's wife, though, they had to work for those shirts a little bit. They're like, "Can I have one?"
Yeah, they don't look as sexy as us.
But
and
she
your daughter
was so amazing. I loved meeting the owner. Drago's was amazing. It lived up to everything I ever heard. And I'm not a traveler, but I'm kind of turning the wheel.
So did you feel good when you stole the glasses and then went up there and she gave you a free shirt? Because I remember you have glasses at your house. Oh,
I don't recall.
I totally recall. Well, kind of. I was told the story because I was drinking too. I have glasses too at the house. Did you feel any guilt or remorse after stealing those glasses and then she gave you a hug and says, "Here's a free shirt for being so nice"? Because I don't know how I would.
Drawing a blank.
You must have a nice Tempur-Pedic pillow because you sleep well at night.
I remember everything about that night except for what you're talking about.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, klepto. Plus, I had more glasses if you needed. It was my backpack.
Pine glasses. We've been running pine glasses.
How dare you put your name on
years? Yeah. And my brother for years and years always said, "Grow up." I'm not going to grow up. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to be the regular pint glasses. I really like those ones. They all stack together. They go well. And I don't want dozens of the same one. I want different ones from different places.
You could have fooled me because that night you had all of them the same one that said Dragos. I mean, you had a stack of them that all said Dragos. So I'm sorry, I'm confused now.
I was hoping that it would change, that it would say something different later.
Got it,
like
got
after
it.
washing
chip
it,
go Argos, just to go.
Something.
Got it. Yeah, I get it. I
You
see
know.
that. Yeah.
You heat it up and it says something different.
So barbecue people, don't put your name in your glasses, or we're going to have a whole cupboard full, especially if there's pint-sized glasses because we stack
the
them
right
nicely.
pints.
The right pints, yeah. I like how they do in Europe. They actually give you an 18-ounce pint because the people in Europe sued the bars because you're actually paying for the gasoline.
Good
and
usage
you're not
of
getting the full 16-ounce.
legislation there, huh?
Great, I guess. But you know what? They basically, so you have your head on the beer, then you get a full 16-ounce. So I thought, you know what? That's badass. And people are now starting to sue Starbucks because you order a Venti, which is 20-ounce, and you're not getting 20-ounce of coffee because they leave room for whatever, that foo-foo, crappy, shitty cappuccino stuff. Anyhow.
I was only spending $8 on a cup of coffee when I should have been spending $7.75.
Right, or
thieves.
barbecue, or buy more barbecue. So one thing we haven't done in Texas, next time we go to Texas, we got to hit up Snows. That's the one place I haven't been in Texas, and I've been all over Texas for barbecue. I want to take you to Franklin's. I think Franklin's, by far, I could take a brisket out of Franklin's and take it to a competition and probably come in the top 10, just right off the bat, any given day. That's how good that I don't even like the toe, and the toe is what they call the flap, or the pointy part of the brisket, and the heel or the butt is the back end. I don't like the toe. I think it's nasty. I could. It's going to sound bad. I can eat Franklin's toe. What's that?
But even nasty is amazing when it's barbecue.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah, it's good. Last night I had barbecue, and they baked it in the oven. And so he's like, oh, I got brisket. He's going to say it's barbecue brisket, but he put barbecue seasoning and rubs and he put it in the oven because he was doing a party last night. And I had it. It was good. But again, is baked brisket barbecue? I don't know. It's like maybe some people, they'll call it. Like George Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it. So but that's what I get from there. But to go back to Colorado and talk about Colorado barbecue, wasn't that fun when they had that barbecue event at the,
it was great.
At the Texas Stadium?
It wasn't the Texas Stadium.
It was the Texas Stadium. It was, again,
it was Mile High Stadium, which I don't know what they call it now. It was Invesco, and now it's
yeah.
What is it now? What is
Empower Stadium. Empower, yeah.
I felt empowered when I was there.
Well, because you pay electric bill. Yep. So you're welcome.
It'll always be Mile High to me.
Oh, really? It'll always be Texas Stadium to me.
Yeah. So going down there, we don't know what we're walking into. That was an awesome event too because it was free. We walked in and it was what do you want to buy? What do you want to get?
I spent $200 at that free event.
Oh yeah, that free event.
I spent $200 at that free event.
Well, I got this hat. I got this hat at that free event, and I got this free hat at that free event.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. We met a lot of different people. We met the people from Great Range, Buffalo Company. Yeah. They're awesome. The fact they just gave me this hat, we started talking, and they told me, a little bit about their brand. And here it's local and just some prostate cancer. They support prostate cancer. They have a golf tournament every year. And it was just really cool to talk to different barbecue people and different people. They're a meat supplier, obviously. But nonetheless, it's just really awesome people across the board that you run into. So
yeah, I like my favorite there at that event was Pappy's. The St. Louis, they're from Pappy's St. Louis, those ribs. Man, the Pappy's ribs. You remember the one that your daughter Quinn, she wanted to come over the next day and finish the rest of my ribs. Yeah, I'm like, sorry, I'll give you the keys. I'll give you the keys to my truck, but you're not taking my ribs. That came from St. Louis. I get that once a year or whatever.
Oh, that's right, you did get them.
Yeah, and actually been to Pappy's.
It was so ridiculous. We're sitting there, they're closing up, and he says, "Hey guys, here's the secret. They're closing up shop. We're gonna go get a bunch of stuff cheap." And we go over, and they stonewall him. They're like, "You're not having any of it." He starts, "Well, I know Pappy himself," and
I do. I don't know him. I met him,
and all of a sudden, Pappy comes walking around the corner and is like, "I have no idea who this guy is."
But did I get not a free record?
That wasn't Pappy.
That wasn't Pappy. That was his number 2 guy.
Okay,
he was a GM, but he goes, but he did he not give me a rack of ribs for free?
He did.
Because I was telling a story how much. So my wife and I went to St. Louis, and we go to the Soulard Market. Best freaking farmers market. You were there. I think you agree. It's where that's where we buy our bacon. We buy 50 pounds of bacon and bring it back. But we didn't go to Pappy's together. But the first time I went to Pappy's, it was a long line.
By the way, I've only been to a couple markets like that. Oh, so when you say best around, well,
so it's in the top 3.
Okay.
It's in the top 3.
I'll take your word for
Right.
it.
But I mean, for most of the farmers markets, it was
Where
good.
you peruse the Amish?
Those Amish. I don't know if they get dressed up, but they're really Amish. I don't know. I just think it could be part of the game. I don't know. But the prices are really high. So, anyhow. But so I went to Pappy's, and he had a big tray of ribs he was handing out for people standing in line. Just grab a rib. Nicest guy. And all of a sudden, he ran out of ribs with my wife right in front of me. I'm like, like you're checked out. I was the last. I mean, and there's more people behind me, but he ran out of ribs to me. I'm like, and my wife's like sucking on this rib bone. I'm like, shit, aren't you going to share? He looked at me, he's like, looks like you've had enough ribs. I was like, you pain in the ass. I go, really? He's like, oh, you've had plenty of ribs in your life. Trust me, we'll have more up there. So I go there and we eat ribs, and we had to catch a plane back, and we couldn't get an Uber or anything else. Nothing was out there. So we're stuck out there. The restaurant's closed, and he came outside. He goes, hey, you guys okay? I'm like, no, we can't get a cab. I don't know where to go. We can't get cell service or anything. And he went inside and told everybody, hey, can you guys get these guys a cab? And he totally helped us out and got us back to the airport on time. He was a really nice guy. And so if you're ever in St. Louis,
I don't know.
If you're ever in St. Louis, go to Pappy's. And Bogart's is good too, but Pappy's is, he's just a straight up American, just big heart. And you're right. I haven't met a mean barbecue person yet at all. They've all been great. Even when we moved here to Colorado.
Maybe calling an Uber was his way of saying, you've been here too long.
No, he closed shop.
Time to
Wait, hold on. You want me to buy all your barbecue. Right. You need me to buy all your barbecue. You want to stay in business.
You want me on that wall.
You want me on that wall. You want my fat ass on that picnic bench. Yeah, you need me on that picnic bench. No, but everywhere I've been on my travels, and that's the great part about working for an airline, you get to travel around and try different barbecues from all different states. And people say, well, what's your favorite place? And it's like, well, it just depends on what do you want. If I want burnt ends, Kansas City, day and night. They have the best burnt ends, hands down. That's where they came. That's where a lot of cattle came through Kansas City, going down to Texas. Brisket, beef ribs, Texas. Ribs, Memphis.
Yeah, in Wyoming, we like to keep our great cattle in Wyoming. We don't try to import them, export them.
It's because you get too close to the cattle, because you build this man-cattle relationship like sheep.
If it's got a name, you can still eat it.
Right? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. This might be a G-Chon. We'll talk about that later. But if you want a whole hog Carolina, it's like that's where you go for pork. And so it just depends on what you want for barbecue, I guess. But here in Colorado, so if you wanted brisket, you go to what your place called Wayne's, right?
I go to Wayne's Smoke Shack. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you like about Wayne's?
What do I like everything about Wayne's.
Okay.
I do. Their brisket is amazing, and I'm not historically a brisket guy. Their ribs are amazing, and that's what I've always been, a rib guy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of starting to pull away from that. I'm not pulling away from it. I'm just trying to expand. Their pork belly, their candy pork belly is amazing.
Yeah.
Their Wagyu beef sausage is amazing. What I don't like, and I get it at the same time, what I don't like is they're open Thursday through Saturday. They're open only from 11 till they close, and they close early because they sell out so quick. Their slogan is risk it for the brisket. Okay, I would love to risk it for the brisket, but at some point, I got to risk it and get rewarded too. So when I go over there, I want to get what I want, and the people there are awesome. I spoke to him when I met Wayne. I was like, "You're Wayne." Wayne seems like an old name, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne was not an old guy. His wife was not an old guy.
Yeah, she's easy on the eyes too, isn't she?
Old guy, yeah. Older, yeah. And I remember going through that line with you, and you're looking at their smokers, going, "Oh, that's not that's not Texas.
That's not Texas at all. It's a big electric smoker."
But their flavor is Texas. It's great flavor, but
yep.
But it's just each one of them does it different. That's what we're going to come down to every time. So Zach is with us here. Zach, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sneak into the...
All right, this is our tech guy. Our tech guy loves food and brisket too, and all right.
And he knows how to cook it, and if he doesn't...
Yeah, that's right. He knows how to cook. He's done great ribs, and he's done a great brisket. No, my knee.
Oh, you're being fought over.
Yeah.
No, I...
What's he doing?
Kneel down. Oh, you want to be able to hear me? All right. No, I don't know. I grew up, and we didn't cook a whole lot of great food. My dad lived in St. Louis. I was born in Indiana. We moved all over the place, ended up in Idaho. But every time we'd go out to St. Louis, I'd want St. Louis, style baby back ribs, and they were amazing. But thinking about it, I don't think we cooked ribs once growing up ever. Like we would buy them places, but we'd never cook them. But my father-in-law cooks amazing ribs, and I would always ask for him. I teased year after year. I was like, okay, ribs for Thanksgiving. We did no turkey, ribs for Thanksgiving.
That's what we did this year.
That's what we did this year.
Yeah.
It never happened then, but we did it this year.
God,
So
I didn't.
We're so grown up now.
I know.
make my own decisions.
We win.
It looked good. Your ribs look good at Thanksgiving. I was there for a split second, but it
But
looked good.
here's the funny part: is the Colorado Boys barbecue is
Texas and Wyoming.
Yeah, Texas, Wyoming, Utah.
Well, the thing is this: we're all new here, and the thing is,
this
where do
is
we
Colorado.
get good? But where
This
do we
is
get
Colorado.
good barbecue in Colorado? And that's what the quest is. And I think that's how this came about. Is we just love to talk about barbecue. He loves Wayne's. You love Sugar Fire. I still haven't found. The only place that I think I haven't found my place yet, and that's when I'm on the search for the place. I went, bam!
But
I
damn
need to
it,
go.
I will never stop looking.
I'll never stop looking.
That's what the channel's about.
Yeah, I'll never stop looking for the perfect boobs and the best barbecue. just gotta keep searching.
You said my boobs were perfect.
I did, but that was in the moment. At that moment, they were perfect, and I loved them, and I still love them. I mean, I'm looking at them now, and I'm like, hey, we gotta wrap this up. No, but what I'm saying is, I still haven't found my perfect barbecue. No, Wayne's did that pork belly was probably the best pork belly I've ever had. Now, the one thing they did have, because they don't have enough people because of staff, is they make kolaches. And that's a big in Texas. And I don't know if you know about kolaches,
I
but
love
they're
kolaches.
I
big in
have no idea what kolaches.
I know. Well,
I even had to say, how do I say that? It was K-L-A-C-H-E.
Kolache. It's actually it's a Czechoslovakian. It's a kolache. Why? Because I have a Czech friend who's crazy. Goes, you're singing it. It's kolache. I'm like, whatever. Just like, I want that for $2. That's what I'm going to call it. That for $2. But Wayne's makes
fistfuls of them.
Yeah, and Wayne's makes really good homemade bread too. But they make their kolaches or kolache. And man, it was. They said we don't have enough staff for I do that. I think I would really go back to Wayne's. The sausage was high priced. I mean, it's just barbecue's expensive now these days, and especially when I say Kobe. You know, when you say Kobe sausage, is it like? I mean, they're grinding a bunch of sausage. I think Kobe should stand by itself.
And I think it says Wagyu beef sausage.
Yeah, Wagyu. Okay, but I'm like, but why would you take something so hot and nice and sexy and grind up and make a sausage out of it?
Well, whatever they're doing it right.
We've got Wagyu right here.
And this is why.
And I have a hard time believing this is actually. But
it's actually really good.
It's really good. But it does give me heartburn pretty quickly, but everything does.
Let's talk about the toothpick.
It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do.
Let's talk about the toothpick. Which toothpick?
My weight, because I'm tall too.
I carry it more. But man,
what I think's funny though is that like we all come from different experiences. I bought a smoker a year and a half ago and fell in love. And I've been
let's talk
learning.
about what kind of smoker?
It's a Pit Boss. So
Is it a pit boss? Is it offset or is it electric?
it's electric.
Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, for you people in Texas, we call it the easy bake.
But
he just got fired.
you've spent money to learn from the best
was
on
easy.
how to smoke brisket, and that's something that I would love to do. But I'm newbie here.
I know,
I love good barbecue.
okay.
So we've got all.
I just love
different
teasing you guys,
experiences.
but
And I've been delegating my wife to make great barbecue for years.
I know, and she does. She makes great
We've
barbecue.
got 3 smokers and a grill. Like,
And his wife knows how to use them all. She makes it. His wife. Now, one thing about Cody, he is sexy. He loves good barbecue. He watches his wife cook the barbecue sometimes, and she makes the best barbecue. But Cody, you got a Komodo, you got a green egg, and you're starting to learn how to do that.
Got a green egg. Yep, just got that recently.
Yeah.
On Craigslist. The couple we got it from was awesome. It was an older couple. Tony and I went and picked it up, and it was a fun experience because at the end of the day, if I can't figure that thing out, I'm not losing anything. I'll just resell it. But I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn it or die trying because our great friend Greg, he has the Kamado Joe's, very, very similar, and he has nailed it. He knows those things. He walks over to my house and has beers for hours. I'm like, are you going to go check that thing? He's no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's got the remote, but he has it figured out. And he goes, we're going to get yours figured out. He goes, every one of them is different. Every one of them has a different personality. Every one of those green egg type, the Kamado style. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we've also, my wife and I started with a Traeger.
Yeah.
A Traeger that I bought at a pawn shop for $90. I don't know if they knew what they had. Either way, when I got it home, it didn't work, so maybe they knew what they had.
They knew what they had.
But for 2 cases of Bud Light, which I don't drink Bud Light that often, but for 2 cases of Bud Light, I traded a guy and he fixed it. We used that for years. Sold it for a really good price. We gave some friends a good deal because I got a great deal on a Green Mountain. That Green Mountain did us really well. And, of course, it shit the bed right before a competition, a big competition, too. neighborhood competition.
Neighborhood. That's a big one.
And my
huge.
wife, her heart was broken. So she used somebody else's pellet, and that one kind of broke down that day. But we bought a new one just recently, a Rectech. So the Rectech pellet.
It's pretty fancy looking. It's got
pretty
Wi-Fi.
fancy
And it's
looking.
pretty
We'll
fancy.
see. We'll see if it lives up. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, it's nice.
But so yeah, we've got Traeger, we've got Green Mountain, we've got the Rectech, we've got the Green Egg, we've got propane. Which propane, what a go-to! Just light it and go. Just for a quick steak or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like we just did a couple nights ago, we did prime rib for Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Vac
really
sealed
good.
the leftovers. And we threw that on the grill. Just light the grill real quick, warm it up, and it was amazing. That prime rib, we had smoked it in the Green Egg. Half of it in the Green Egg and half of it in the Rectech. So, but yeah, either way, and I know what I like better.
I like the offset. I think, but they all offer different profiles. I know that when we did the Green Egg and the Komodo does a different profile than the electric, the Traeger.
Yeah, beat
And
it. Scram.
Yeah. Come on, Zach. And then we did the offset and the kettle and then the gas. Everyone offers a different profile. Again, you can't go wrong. It's what you like, right? At the end of the day. My friend said it best, Mark Nagel up in Minnesota. He's like, he has 3 Rectechs. He has 3 big Rectechs. And he does a lot of hunting. He does a lot of processing. He wants to get it all done at once. So he does all his beef sticks at one time, does everything at once. Why? I don't care about the cooking part. I care about the eating part. And I'm like, why don't you have the smoker? I go, your things are easy bakes. I make fun of him. He goes, I don't care. The electricity goes, I got a generator. What do I care, right? At the end, you enjoyed the fire part. You enjoyed the cooking. I enjoyed the end product. I went, it had me look at things differently after that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. The older I get, the more I'm like more relaxed. Like, it has to be more like,
This is the more relaxed version of you. Nice. Nice.
This is the more relaxed. Tony 2.0.
Yeah, Prozac.
One day I might actually I might break down and get an electric smoker, and and it might be like, okay,
You might. I've got one in my garage with your name on it.
brand new in the box. I'm like, no, I'm not.
And we're gonna do a whole photo shoot just so we can keep it on record for you.
I'm gonna wear my Uggs. I'm gonna wear my Uggs while cooking it. Yes,
No,
I can.
you
Yes,
won't.
I can. I'm the only one in this neighborhood that has an 800-pound offset smoker, and it's not even the biggest one, but it's like it's heavy as hell. The movers hated it. It's 800 pounds. It's a Tejas. And they actually make a great smoker. They really do. It holds 5 gallons in the bed.
I like the water in the bottom.
The water in the bottom keeps the temperature and the moisture and humidity high in
You
the
ever
thing.
tried anything else? Beer? Throw beer in the bottom.
I'm not
of
going
that
to waste
thing.
5 gallons of beer.
Okay.
I've drank it 5 gallons. No, not really.
Yeah.
drinking
What
5
if it
gallons.
turned out amazing?
You know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You know what? What kind of beer?
Coors Light.
Fuck yeah. Just do. I think Yellow Belly's would be better. I think Coors Yellow Belly has more flavor. We can do that. Maybe we just get a keg of beer and fill it up and try it out once. You know what?
Do they
Can't
make
hurt.
kegs of beer?
Let's try it out. I think we could. But, I think when it comes back down to barbecue, we're here just to try to find the best barbecue in Colorado and then share that with everybody. And then as we get to more travels, I think we say, what's the best barbecue throughout the United States? And we don't stop there. I think we've had some good... We went to Pecan Lodge.
Pecan.
No,
Pecan.
Pecan is what you put next to your bed at night for the old man. They have a pecan. It's pecan.
So we did go there.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
you know what? Because
Tony's barbecue. I've had Tony's barbecue when Tony gave a shit about barbecue, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a one-off apparently. Maybe I blame the cow because every time he's done it since then, it's just not really quite measured.
I've
up
had a
to
couple
the first
bourbons.
time.
I had a few bourbons and I slept and I messed up. I didn't watch the fires as I should.
But
The temperature
it was
fluctuated.
better. I would say it was better than the Pecan Lodge.
God, you're going to get a fresh one, I swear to God. As big as he is, sometimes you just need a good slap. God, I'm just going to call it Tourette's for him.
But it was good, and it was a heck of a great trip. But Tony's was far better. I've had better in other places, and I haven't had that many barbecue places. But I've had enough repeated barbecue places. I mean, Wayne's, I helped them add on. They may not know it, but I know it. My accountant knows it. So anyway, I'm willing to try more. I want more. I'm ready to talk about more. And there's certain things just like we had talked about.
We're going to go to Raging Hog.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go Raging Hog and check them out. We're going to go to, what's the other place that we talked about? Let me look them up real quick. But we're going to check.
Well, we went to Sugar Fire, and they were really gracious. They said if you guys want to come talk about it. I liked their ribs. Zach, you said that their ribs were your favorite. I liked their ribs a lot. I did like the way it did give some resistance. I ultimately like how ribs fall off. I like how that works. Fall off the bone ribs.
Yeah.
But when it was all said and done, I had something weird. Like he had the Thanksgiving on a bun. I had tater tot nachos. I like nachos, all right? So I had to try it. I wasn't overly hungry, but I wanted to try it. And the guy there told me that their green chili was amazing. It was just amazing, and it was good. It had too much cumin for me.
Yeah. I agree. It's too rich.
Cumin.
Coming. Okay, wrap it up. We're gonna be coming. Look at that sexy beast too. But that was so I the Raging Hog we're gonna go to. Roaming Buffalo, and then Owl Bear Barbecue. And you're the one that
Owl Bear, yeah.
Owl Bear. You're the one that says, I really want to go to Owl Bear. I've never been to any of these three.
My cousin from the north points of Wyoming up in Cody said, have you been there? I said, never even heard of it. He had to say it 3 or 4 times because over the phone.
Because he sounds Canadian, or?
No.
Owl Bear, eh? Because he's up there. He's like Canadian light. He's up there so close to Canada. Does he talk like Canadian?
Are you drunk?
No, I'm not drunk. Why, do you have some?
I think we should get some.
I think we should get some.
But no, no, he's the one that told me about it. So I definitely want to try that out. We'll lay the tracks on it and see what happens. So
You're actually gonna lay tracks on it? What?
You're making it weird.
Yeah, I am. Well, you mentioned something to drink, and I was like,
you know why he always wears long sleeves? Because he's laid the tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I now I have to paint. That was getting expensive. I can't do that anymore. I
turned to barbecue.
I turned to barbecue. That's my new crack. But the people at Raging Hog were really nice. Roaming Buffalo, I think her name was Stacy. She was really cool. GM over there, and I'm just looking forward to going to more barbecue places and trying them out here. And but the one place I do like, and you were like, and it. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a chain. And a lot of people don't like chain restaurants and barbecues, but it is the best chain I've ever been to. And people in Texas are going to say it's called Rudy's Barbecue, and they're in Colorado Springs. And we went to Rudy's. We both went to Rudy's.
I've been there a bunch of times now.
Yeah, and they make the best spicy chopped beef. That's their leftover stuff. They spice it up and put their sauce in there. Great. But I think I consistently go in there. And their extra fatty brisket, which I love. Their turkey's good. Turkey's turkey, right? But their brisket and the ribs are really, really good. And what I like is they take off the membrane off the ribs.
Is I had their brisket there with my daughter one time, and it was the worst brisket I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was awful. The texture, everything. And I kept looking at it going, okay, that piece is going to be the difference. And I'd chew on it, and it was bad. And I didn't sit around and deal with it. I just told the person, I said, hey, this is a bad piece. I got a bad piece. It looks great, but it's not good. And they brought me more, and it was amazing. It was good.
I mean, people do that. You just got to speak up
They can't tell you exactly what that piece of beef.
Yeah.
They try to manipulate it, and I guess that's where it comes down to consistency. That was a bad cut. There was one bad cut, and they made it better for me. So
Rudy's catered my wedding. I mean, I have an affinity for Rudy's, and it was spot on. And I was like, do I cook my own barbecue? But getting married, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Screw it. We'll just call Rudy's. They came in, they catered, they laid it all out. I mean, it was spot on, and they did a really, really good job. And so, I mean, you're gonna have bad days at Rudy's. I get it, but it's a chain.
Yeah, but they made it better, and I loved that.
They're the best chain, I think.
And then it was this probably upper teens, lower 20s girl. She came over and she handed me the replacement, and she was like, well, maybe you don't understand brisket. And so I'm like, seriously,
I don't.
Look at this. I don't understand.
You're going to educate me about brisket.
She starts telling me about how there's a lean and a moist, and the moist, and I was like, yeah.
She is right, though.
Oh, I'm aware.
She is right.
But I was like, come on. You think
you
this
get
is my
schooled
first rodeo?
but the thing is, you got schooled, and that kind of hurt a little bit right here, huh? Just right there.
No. It hurt right in here.
Right here.
Go a little lower.
Yeah.
But then I it was pretty amazing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, I don't know how much longer. We've got stories to tell, but I think we should save it for the next round. What do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think,
hop in here. So, this is first episode. So we're gonna do videos like this, where you guys telling stories. Maybe I'll hop in and out. What other things?
Depends on your attitude. Really.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm welcome or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we should, ask them what they want to see. I think from us, we want to see these videos, because these are awesome. We can do these all the time. Find good places, good barbecue places. My thoughts were, each of us have different cooking tips. So maybe we'll show you how to smoke barbecue, cook barbecue. The other thing I was thinking, maybe our favorite sauces. I love hot sauces. Only one out of the three, but I can talk hot sauces. We can talk about barbecue sauces or I don't know how to make them. I know we want you to do an actual course on like how to smoke brisket or make tamales or some of the things.
And we'll get your wife to show us too on how to make good brisket too.
I can show everybody how to be hungover well.
Well, and I think we do some videos. We'll do a course so you can learn, but we'll do some like tips, and each of us can like, here's my tip, here's my like. That way we can share with them how to not only order and find good barbecue, but to make good barbecue if they want to.
You know, if anything, you walked away from this episode, ordering. And let's talk about that on our next episode, on ordering, because ordering is so important that people don't really understand and they get intimidated.
You start with.
And that's what not to do. And we're going to talk about what not to do and what to do.
You don't get this fat by not going like that.
You can get fatter if you did it the right way. I'm just saying. You've been stalling. But to go back to Zach, there's a lot, but can they leave feedback for us? Is there an area? Yeah.
Yep. So we'll have a description below. Any kind of things, if we talk about like jerky we love, I'll put a link, or hot sauce or things like that. If there's a place that we eat at, I'll make sure to put their website there. So and below that, they can put comments, they can put questions. I'll field all of those, grab them. So if you leave a comment or question, and you say, hey, I love this place, go here, we'll call them. We'll try to get in and
well, and even if you think we're wrong about something, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, but
there's certain things that I like that I like. If you don't think it's good, tell us.
Yeah, I know I'm going to get buried. You like Rudy's, you have no idea what barbecue's about. And I'm going to get that, I guess, because some people are going to say that. But again, barbecue is so subjective. Yeah, and if you do say you hate Rudy's and I'm an idiot, please leave your address and when you're going to be home late at night, because I'd love to pay you a visit.
Or when you go on vacation.
Yeah. Again, we're not from Colorado. We're from Texas and Wyoming, and we believe in the right to bear arms. Yeah,
out of Utah.
Out of Utah. Yeah,
been everywhere.
He's been everywhere. So yeah, but that's all, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Tune in next week.
That's all for now.
All right, guys. That's all for now. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.